Hello and welcome to the next episode. This is our series which is all about this Lego room and of course my life. Now finally we have a plan of attack where we can actually get some bits and pieces done within this upload. But before I go on about what we're going to be doing, I'll show you what we've already done. Now we have got this basically ready to go for tile. So I'm in two minds now, just whether to order a load of base plates, cut them up to fit, get all the tiles down, add all the vehicles that are ready to go in this. And then this section is basically finished because we have got the Daily Bugle, we've obviously got the tower, we've got the Ghostbuster Firehouse, and we have started to make some little dioramas with the diner and adding in all the little characters and things just around there. And you can see that I want to be adding in some more bits and pieces within this building. So there's going to be a lot of Easter eggs within this section. Now moving up to the top shelf, there's not too much more we can do with this apart from just tile it or paint the shelf properly, because we have got the cottage, and then obviously we've got this beautiful big thing just up here with the fireworks now in, and right at the very top, the only thing that is missing is the little flag because it was off literally by a couple of studs. As we come over, you've then got the rest of the Disney stuff, but then that does lead us to this different types of accommodation, because that is something that I want to be thinking about as I'm moving this. Now all of these different bits and pieces are actually going to be moved now to complete our Gotham. Now obviously looking at that straight away, there's a couple of different things that we can do, but I think I have the best plan of attack. I'm going to move the shadow box out the corner, put it in a slightly different position. The blade and the fan actually got moved off camera because it was in the way. I did do another upload, but it was annoying me that much I just deleted everything. So we have had a gap in the matrix as such with regards to the timelines of all of these. Just imagine the eyeball there instead, because I think that would look quite nice. Or the eyeball moves over, the artwork moves over. So the Lord of the Rings eyeball for that, I think would look quite smart there. But that's where we've got to. And of course, we've got all of this monstrosity and mess that we are tucking into. These units are in place. You can see what I've tried to do with a nice walkway around the Apocalypseburg. Again, it's just ready for base plates and tiles. The minifigures will be going into their correct homes, and underneath, you know that that is going to be a big project that's literally going to be done in one day. When the new Star Wars bits and pieces come out, it's all been painted, ready to go. So I think in about 6 or 7 weeks the new sets will come out, Calyxes go in, all gets done in one hit, and it would look quite nice. So, on-site hotel accommodation and a winter village combo will be coming to this table just here. It's basically like any Legoland holiday village where you go over there, but we're doing it on our own with regards to having a winter theme. So we are going to have a hybrid of accommodation and all of the winter village sets within the same section. So I want to have like a hotel area up at the top, which will be involving potentially the Home Alone house, the A-frame cabin, and a couple of other bits and pieces that I want to do a bit of research on, but that'll be a slow burn. And then coming down the table will be all of my winter village sets, and obviously we'll have to base plate it. So we are going to make a nice diorama here. But to actually get the bits and pieces here, all the stuff that was here, which is all of this, now has to move, and that is what we're about to do. So with that being said, let's get to it. So like I said, there's a lot to get through within this upload. Now I have leveled the table off as well. This is something that I did in a previous upload that you wouldn't have seen. There was lots of tears and lots of swearing, and it is what it is. So this here, which is very wobbly still, I'm going to try and fit just here. So we're going to put that here to start with and see exactly what it's like. Now I have done some patch repairs to this because this actually fell apart in 4 when I moved it last time, and that's where I gave up. So we will, rather than doing it as a time lapse, just see, actually, you know what, if I just do that, see, that's the problem, because it just breaks at the top. So if I do that and that, because I know how badly this breaks apart, then I do not recommend you moving it like this whatsoever. If I then put it in its correct location, will it fit? Please say it'll fit. Please, please, please. Yeah, it's going to be tight. It might have a bit of an overhang. We might have a bit of an overhang, so I bodge this into position, so you know what that went there, I think. If I put this back up on the top, just like So, right, as always, that's a little bit more tricky than what it needs to be, but it's in. That is now solid again, and there's just a few odd bits that have just fallen off across the top. It's basically all layering in detail, which is obviously what I will get round to once I've done all the bigger bits and pieces, because I think this will be its final home, which is perfect. Now, I have also moved some of the base plates over, so we have got 1, 2, 3, 4.5 base plates basically of space before we even think about what we're going to do with this at the front. Now, I have got options. I either flip the Joker thing around and angle it in front, which I don't really think is probably the best idea to do. I could potentially put the Joker Manor on top of the shadow box, but instantly now looking at the roof, that is still not going to fit, so that's out. If you just imagine the big eyeball behind the Joker Manor, and then we had a strip of a couple more modulars going into the corner and wrapping it round, I think that would look quite smart, because we have got to try and bring over, how many base plates is it? 1, 2, 3, 4.5, and we have got 1, 2, 3, 4.5, but I need 2 base plates for the eyeball. So if against the red wall we had eyeball and then straight into the assembly square, that's the base plate and a half done. Or we mix and match it up with maybe a restaurant and one of the townhouses. The corner garage obviously makes sense going in the corner because it's a corner piece. The only problem is with that corner piece, it's a little bit more awkward. So we're going to have a little bit of fun with this. I could put the cinema in the corner instead. So I'm going to have to mess around with the modulars. The good thing is it will fit. It's just I don't want to ruin and wreck the look of all of this. So I think the impact of that stood here looks nice with the eyeball towering over it. And then we're going to have the eyeball doing something, setting off lava or whatever else. Now, obviously what I could do is make like a hidden diorama behind the Joker Manor where all of this is basically orange. So it's just causing absolute chaos. But that way we can still keep the street clean. What I did want to do is just use one base plate where it was all on fire and lava outside one of the sets. Now, the actual eyeball has to go here, or it can move over and then we can extend the length and give it an extra shaft if we need to. If you've seen the video, you know exactly what I'm talking about on that one. But now I think it's just putting these modulars in the right place. Now we've got a gap obviously just here, so that's probably half a base plate. So we could start off with potentially assembly square, another unit, something in the corner, and then go from there. So I think that's probably the best way to do it. And then what I can do is in a different upload, move all those bits and pieces around because I want to spend a huge amount of time on here. And then at least you guys can let me know what you think would look best together. Because I think we like the jazz club and the cinema like that, but that could just get picked up and put potentially over there if we've got the base paint count, which I don't think we have. We've got 2. Yes, no, we haven't, have we? We're off because we're off because of the pet shop. So I think this table's 4 base plates in total. It is, the table's 4 base plates with an overhang, but the bank is overhanging, which is the problem because of the pet store. So I took the pet store away and brought it back. You could then have 4 base plates overhanging, keep it easy. 2 base plates for the eyeball, which leaves us 2 modulars can go against that. So either 2 modulars or the assembly square and a pet shop or something like that. So I will start bringing these over and we'll just basically see what is what. So I think if I just put you there, just to keep it easy, let's just fire them in. So it just clears this table, bit of space, and then it gives us an understanding of what these look like. Beside these, I can pick up the base plates, because this now is going to give us a shape straight away of stuff that we could do, use, and just have a bit of fun with. And then, yes, we can just see what is what, because obviously, before I get too carried away, we could potentially do something like that. So we could have a half a modular here, because then we've created a footpath straight through. Or we try and find something a little bit smaller at the front, so we're layering it. So that's the image that I want to give. So we either just have all the bigger modulars around the outside, keeps it simple, and we have something slightly shorter in the front, or we just put like 2 townhouses here just to give it that walkway through, and then we can just cut something into there. But again, that I think will be for a future upload, whereas we can just plop these in the right place. I'm going to keep that yellow card there so I know it'll be safe. You're not really going to see it anyway. That tumbler can go there. That's a Flintstones thing that can move. Right, so we have got that amount of studs of space from the back wall. So if I was to push this over, we would have a gap there. So we're going to have to try and fill in the gaps. Now the camera needs a battery change, so I am going to change the camera's battery, and then we'll carry on moving the modulars. My new battery is in, and that is the first thing I see when I come up the loft ladders, and I think that does look very, very smart, to be honest. It's actually a really, really nice location. It's probably best not trying to hide it in the corner, because the details pop a little bit more. I don't know if it's just because it's a little bit dark in that corner or what, but I like it there. And if I can make it work, like I said, coming off that shape, and even if we just literally draw a diag line from there to there, and that is all Batmobile cars, and it's just something else with a little different coloured tiling, just to split it up a little bit as I stand on a tin, that'd be perfect. Right, so we have got a couple of these bits and pieces to shunt and move. Now the funfair ground, that's not going to go there. Now this is a very, very pretty building, which I don't particularly want to hide. If I plonk you back over to this side, but at the same time, one or two are going to have to make a sacrifice, and then we can figure it out, because like I said, I just don't know what to plonk where. Because again, we could just have an odd building side on like that, which doesn't look bad at all. That actually works with that, and then that gives us the width of the street, and then we can then have that shape coming around here. So if I leave a modular there just as a sizing, that doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad. Gives off that sort of street-esque bit. Again, imagine the eyeball, one facing forward, then you've got the line, because we will have the road. Now obviously the other thing is, if I didn't have that there, we would then be able to fit a full road plate all the way around. So that is the other option. We just have it all tiled as a road, or I can just get a thinner one and then just have it as a half road base plate. It's basically a one-way street. So that is options that we can do, and that is what you would be looking at from that angle. As I grab the corner unit, now this is going to be the tricky one, because, well, this is swine, basically. That's the easiest thing for me to describe this as, for a couple of reasons. One of those reasons is it's a road in, road out. So I now might be able to utilise this road for the first ever time with my actual base plates that I've made, because I might be able to have it as a way in, way out. If I did that, I'd actually have to customise everything, because as it stands right now, my road plates are miles off. Don't actually think that's going to be able to work, which is a real shame, but I could try and get creative, because I did them, so nothing, no biggie, I did them. And just see, so this is where now things get broken, which is fantastic. And this is why I quite like doing this as a time lapse, because I like to swear to myself loud and often as I do this, but I've got to be on my best behaviour when it's like this. So this, if I hold that like a pizza, which is going to go wrong, shift that one, great, that's just broke the back of that, brilliant. That as well. Oh, there's Indiana Jones, what's he doing there? And then this goes like that. Just broke the top of that, there we go. I'm just too heavy-handed with all this kind of thing. Right, so as a corner unit, you saw none of that. As a corner unit, it's a corner. But you can now see the problem with the road because it's set too far back. So the only other option is that I use it as an end bookmark where the assembly square is. Push the assembly square and the restaurant down, bring that up, and then have the garage close to the Batmobile, because it kind of makes sense because it's a garage, and the garage could double up as a restaurant or something like that. Let's just get these in. I'm not going to mess around with it anymore. I could spend a huge amount of time on it. If I get enough time, I will come back to it at the end of this upload. But like I said, I've got quite a bit that I want to do with the Winter Village, and this is just to make space, so at least you guys and girls can actually see what I am trying to achieve with this. I think that all of this is going to have a full rejig and a reshuffle, which is fine. So that clearly does not work there. That's just completely swallowed and lost. We will make it work. And then that is... it's a base plate and a half. So that's not going to work either, is it? Because we know that's not going to work. I said it's not going to work because the bank overhangs by a couple of studs. So that is a future problem, which I don't have to worry about just yet. So I've just got to move these two units out of the way. I'm going to throw those on the table. You get the idea of what we're trying to do with that. I think we're going to make that work and make that look really, really nice. I will play with that in more detail, I think, later. You know, I really want to do it now. I've got two options with this. This is what it looks like from there, and you can have the wall, and then obviously if I wanted to, I could just pull this to here, and then we can create a road and footpath coming out, and then you've got our custom road plate all at the front, which would look fine. Or we can spin it round, which is probably the easiest thing. Kiss them together just there, have a gap just at the front, and then this could then come over. So I think that's the best way to have it, but that configuration does not work because I will need to put a corner unit in there and a single one either side, and then of course we then got to figure out what we're going to do with the rest, and all of that can happen on a separate upload. At least it's there. So two options I've got with this townhouse and bookstore. I don't know whether to try and add these into the Marvel section and just add a little bit more detail within it. I don't know if I can try and squeeze in the other townhouse beside the Aunt May cottage, just so there's two beside it, and then the diner, rather than being angled, is actually flush behind. Again, there's options for that, so I might do a Marvel DC upload together. So to remind me of that, what I will do is I'm going to plonk those two units just here, because these are two half units, so that's nice and simple. So that can go like there. That townhouse potentially could go beside the other townhouse, because if I had two townhouses in the Marvel, and the bookshop could go in the DC, or vice versa, that I think will do the trick. Looks awful there, but it's not going there, is it? Right, so I now need to grab the sets, which is a little bit harder said than done. So you're going to go to a time lapse. I might fall down the loft ladders. I also need to grab them from another room, and then we can start having a little bit of fun. So as always, that took a lot longer than when it needed to, but what I do is I get all of these out this tub now, and the ones that I've just brought up I'll put on the table as well. And I know that I'm missing one or two brand new sealed sets. They're either going to be carrying on underneath that table so I can have a good look for them, or they'll be in there, which is going to be an absolute swine if that is the case. But this is only just making it as a rough dial. This isn't going to be obviously fully finished today, because I know I've got bits and pieces to repair, like you always do with the Winter Village sets. And I've also got some bits and pieces brand new to build, and I don't have everything here either. So it's just going to be very interesting with regards to space, because like I said at the start of this video, want to see if I can do on-site accommodation and basically a permanent winter village within a theme park, because they do tend to do that at certain places around the world. Now, this is more of a recent giveaway. It's a shame they don't put the dates on them anymore, like the years, because some of the older ones, they have like the 23rd, they have the Christmas stamp mark of 2013, 2014. So that kept it really easy and handy to look for. But if I put you, I don't know which way to put you, I don't know where to have you, where am I go there? So we have got on this one just here, that is the front of, in fact, if I go that way, you won't be looking at the back of my head all the time. This is the first set in question. So we have got the little cottage, I do believe. Roof has been damaged on this one. Of course it has, because, well, that's what you get when you stack them on top of each other. So I do this every single year. I then have to repair all of these. So I should be able to do some bits and pieces. Detail on the back of this one is lovely. So that is back together. Spin that round. We're missing a bit on the A of the roof as well, which is not exactly ideal. So that bit goes on here somewhere. And then we have got another piece to add as well. So that is good fun. So we just put this one to the back. Good thing is I know what piece belongs to what, and then we will be, he says, absolutely fine. Now we've got these little reindeers just here. These are cool little things. So this was a little thing that I picked up from a Lego convention a little while back. I think I got these from Bristol, I do believe. So Swindon, sorry. So this was a cool little thing for those. So they do look effective enough. Now I've got a pack of reindeer and a little stable, so we can actually have like a little petting thing in there. So this is another thing that we can do. Now obviously the whole of this needs to go white, because it's not going to work on the brown. Now I was tempted just to paint it. I was just tempted to paint the whole thing white and then just be done with it, or just get a load of base plates and do it that way. But we'll see what space we've got to take up, because I don't particularly want to base plate everything and then put these sets on top of the base plate. I'd rather have it all linked up perfectly flush. So I might just cut them to fit, but we will see. I might use some of the grey ones as a spacer, just so we can see exactly how many we need. Now if I plonk you over that way, that goes with that. I am so hot up now, it's ridiculous. Right, so we have got the Toy Factory giveaway. That is that. That is the choir for something, so that just needs to be rebuilt. That's easy enough. And then we've got all these goodies in here, which is just some of them. Now that's obviously built. I kept some of the boxes, they're all flat packed at the bottom with the instructions, which is great. This is the one that I never got to finish. This is the newer one, I do believe. But I've also got a funny feeling I didn't actually build. Yes, I love that. I don't think I actually got a chance to build the other one either. So this is getting there. So I've got to find a box for this one and get that one finished, which is fair enough. And then we've got this nice little diode thing just here. So that is fair enough. Now this is going to take forever. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get them all out of the box. Then we can go over them. Then I can make a list of what's missing. And then you can join me for the bit that you want to see, which is me actually placing these. But you can see it's 3 base plates deep and it's a couple of base plates wide. So I am hoping that close to the orange wall will be exactly where the Home Alone house will go. And that'll basically be a divide. If I don't have enough sets to fill it, I was going to have the Home Alone house basically perfectly in line with the Daily Bugle, and then maybe just have some of the smaller funfair stuff just behind it. So it's kind of, you leave the Marvel bit, you've got the last couple of rides in the corner, then you wrap around into the accommodation, and then it just takes you into the next zone, which is what it does at all of the parks. So I'll switch you off for a little bit. I'll tuck into all of this so I can actually get my teeth sunk into it, figure out exactly what is what. Well, this is starting to escalate quite quickly. I knew I had some stuff but I am still adding it to this table, and clearly it's not going to work me doing it this way, because normally what I do is I just put it straight out and I know what's going to go where, but because I've now got all this space to play with, it is something completely different. But I am eyeballing this, and I know this is going to work really, really nicely, because I think we can have a nice little reindeer stable in the middle. We've got the Alpine Lodge, which obviously can be added as part of our accommodation as well, which is great. So potentially we could have just 3 Christmas type sets as accommodation. I have got potential ideas of raising the sets up, because I've actually got like clear glass window things, but they will stand on this. So I could raise these up ever so slightly. But I have got an inkling that I think the train would fit going across the back in a straight line, and then we could have this thing going through the city as well, which is obviously the town cart thing. Now there's obviously clearly a lot of bits and pieces that are going to need to be repaired, and this is going to be a long project for me just to stay on top of. Once it's in the correct position, I will be so stupid to the point of, I'll probably go through every single instruction booklet to make sure that it is 100% complete. Now we have got some more little bits and pieces in here, and we've got all of these. This is every single character at the bottom, all these different trees, and this will just make all of the different dioramas. Then we've got the instruction booklets, and I've even kept the old sticker sheets, but I am missing 2 boxes. Now I can't understand why I've done it. I think I kind of remember why I did it, because one of the sets came really late, which was this one, so I didn't get that one built. And then I started to build it because I have got this bit here, which is the first building. And then this one came out, and I thought I'd try and quickly get this one built so I could actually do some reviews on it, and I ran out of time. So I don't even think I had them on display, to be honest. I don't think I did. I'm sure I finished this Alpine Lodge. Maybe it's just missing the roof. Maybe the roof has just fallen off and that's what's throwing me. I'm stupid. Very stupid. But I didn't think I was that much of an idiot. No, I'm pretty sure I'm an idiot, because there'll be more stuff to add on there, won't there? So, right, so I clearly didn't finish that one. Now I'm in 2 minds. I don't know whether to get a very, very basic layout of the buildings, keep it all broken, just put all the vehicles and accessories back in the box, get the buildings in rough, and then we finish the Batman, because I want to complete one thing or another, because this is going to take a long time to do. And it would be a lot easier for me if I obviously then cleared some space and put the vehicles on this bottom bit just here, and then obviously just brought them back on as I knew where they were going. But there's plenty of options for dioramas, there's plenty of options for space, but this train. Now, what do we think if I actually use that? I'll pull you up like so. I think this train would go up there on a track. It would go up there on the track, and then that is a big, nice thing out the, not so much out the way, but I think it would just fit between that plug and the edge of the display as a backdrop train. Just keep it as a straight line, and then we can do what we want with this cart, because don't forget this is supposed to go on the track as well, so we can make a different shape for that, and then maybe over a period of time I do something a little bit stupid with the train. Now I wonder how tall those clear things are, because I think the track would fit on those clear things. They would fit on the clear things, and they're not that deep, and I can raise it. That's what I'm going to do. That is what I'm going to do. We're going to start with that. So we are going to get the buildings in rough, and I get the train in rough, and then we'll come back to this once I start repairing it, and then we can just have a little bit of a play by just tidying up the DC thing, and then we'll start to wrap it up, because we've got to be 20 minutes, half an hour into this already, and I don't want to be sort of wasting your time, because I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing. I always do this blind. I don't really pre-plan it. It's how we do all these kind of things especially when you've got all of this, because there's absolutely no way working this out whatsoever. There'll be Jay's Toy Collection UK shouting at the telly going, no, mathematically you can. No, there's absolutely no hope with these, because every single one is a completely different shape across the bottom. Nothing lines up, nothing matches. But this is going to be a good fun bit of project. And check out Jay's Toy Collection UK as well. Check out his stories and things, because he is now just fallen down the rabbit hole for Lego harder than I think I've seen anybody else fall down it as well. And he's got some amazing dioramas in the process of being built. So I need to basically up my game in here, I think. So we're going to bounce ideas off each other. So I will now run off, get these clear things, figure out how many I need. I think it'll look quite nice because it's clear, obviously. The track can just go in a straight line. The buildings can come from behind it because the buildings aren't that tall. I think we're going to have room for the bigger buildings at that end. Yeah, we'll start with the back of the table and just basically work our way forward. Right, it's in. So bearing in mind it's completely clear, that is what it looks like. So obviously I can just get a few more and just have a full strip for the train, and obviously just put bits and pieces in front of it because it's white on white. You can't really notice it. That's obviously what it looks like just behind there. I don't care if it's cheating or not. It's going to be done. I'm just going to have it slightly higher up, but it's just going to be a train going across the back. That then does lead to an issue of the Winter Village actual train station and what we do with that, because obviously we have got the track going in front of it, but I can actually use that station with this. So we can actually have two stops. We could use the main station and the little station it comes with around as almost like a get around of the village. And then this potentially could be expanded at a later date, because I've got loads of those as a clear thing, and it just happens to be the perfect height. And it eats in, it's what? Exactly the same width as a track. So that is 4, 5, 6, 8 studs, isn't it? So it's 8 studs wide, that, and it's I can stop it from slipping. They interlock with each other as well, so they're not going to fall over. They're quite heavy, so they'd be absolutely fine. I can just put the track on top of it, leave it be, and happy days. So that is the kind of dioramas that we want to be doing, something really, really different. And just because the train is so long and big, because obviously it's got 3 carriages and the big bit on the back, I can potentially then make a little bit of I could possibly have 2 of these in front of each other to create like a square, put a base plate on top of it, and then make a nice little diorama with a Christmas tree up there. So it's just a little bit of height on the back. So that'd be a good bit of fun to do. And I'm happy with that, which is great. So I have a bit of an issue, along with many. That box, this thing just here, is not where I thought it was going to be. So I do need to have a good look for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the rest of, I say the rest, another few of those. So what, another 4 maybe? I just went to the plug. I think that's the best thing. Just get it to the plug, and then we can see what is what just there. Get the train up there so it's out the way. I know that train is going to need to be repaired. Potentially then think if I want to step it in and just make it deep enough for a base plate. I think it will eyeball in that. Probably could do if I just spun it side on. There's definitely options we can do with that. And then I have a strip, I think, of them across the back, and then I'll come down and make some nice roads, and then we just fill it with all these little different diorama bits and pieces. Also, I want to get some construction bits and pieces in here, which is obviously going to be an ongoing thing all the time. But I've got to make sure that I leave some space for the bigger sets as well. Right, so I will now go and grab the rest of those. Put it up there, see what it looks like, see how long this has been going on for. Potentially then just quickly move on to the DC stuff. Finish the DC section so it just looks a little bit more tidy. Try and put maybe some base plates down from there. And then a separate upload for this solely will then basically give me 2 weeks from now to get this uploaded, if that makes sense. So it gives me a bit of a buffer because I don't have a lot of time to be tinkering around, and I need to find these sets, and that's not going to be the easiest thing. So it might be a mystery set find to start with. But yeah, as I step back, I think that's going to look really, really nice up there. So yes, happy with that. Right, enough waffling as normal. I'm panicking because I can't really see. You see, there's more trees and stuff on the floor, which I stood on. Brilliant. I don't know. It might be there. we'll save that for a different upload. So I will see what I can do with getting that sorted, move on to that, wrap it up, and then we can crack on. For me, would be the same day, but for you, be the following week. Right, a few more added. So there's 5 there in total. I've got loads more of them as well. So if I need to add some more, I can do. I just need to get some more track, because the track they actually give you with this set is to create a big circle. So we can actually have like a big semicircle maybe cutting through, just to sort of split it up, and then just either re-add the train down there and put a different train up top for something else, because there is potential for maybe the Orient Express, I think it is, the blue one. That might fit there, so that might look quite nice up at the top, because it is quite long, so that would be a perfect place for it. How many pieces of track it takes up, I'm not too sure, but there are 4 bits down, and I can easily add another 3, so it'll be interesting to see what's going on with that. Then, like I said, we could potentially add like a big semicircle in there, or like a horseshoe or something, or we just go completely straight in another straight line just to add that one in. But all of that will be to come, because I need to find the other track, which is in the boxes in a completely different room, so that's going to take a good amount of time. But good news, I have found the other box for this. So I found the other box for that with the instruction booklet, and I found the box with the instruction booklet for that as well. So they can now get built over the next week or so. As I said, I've got 2 weeks for this project. I don't. I actually have 7 days or 6 days from today. So I want to try and get this video uploaded on the same day, and then we can get back into a weekly turnaround. So I'm going to leave this, because obviously it looks a lot worse than what it is, but a lot of bits and pieces do need to be repaired. But I think what I'm going to do, rather than wasting everybody's time, is pull all of these out, put them in the box, and then just start displaying them that way. But I think that back run will look quite smart. But just keep your eyes peeled for the following upload to this, because in that upload I'll try and do some speed builds for these, and then get as much as I can added in, and the dioramas and everything fully done and complete. So that is this section for this upload done, and I am very, very much looking forward to getting my teeth sunk into that in literally about 5 minutes time, because I've now got to find all the other little bits and pieces. But that does lead us over to here. Now, what realistically do we need to do? What corner units do we have? We've got the bank, which I think would look wasted if it was hidden. Oh, would it? Would it look quite nice in the corner? Because we need to free up a little bit of space. Now, if I pulled the bank out and just moved one of the bookshop down here, I'm trying to think what I've got for what space. So what needs to come out? That needs to move. That needs to come out completely. So if we're going to have a corner, I don't know whether to have corner, that pulled out, that pulled over. And the advantage of me actually uploading both of these parallel is that I can then read your comments for the next week and actually put these in the correct place as well. So it's actually worth my while quickly doing this. Cinema or bank in the corner? We'll put the bank in the corner, I think. Such a shame, it's such a gorgeous set, that. Oh, we don't put a corner unit in, and we just have those two basically like that. And then, oops, and then we just design something else to go in. Because if that got pushed over, for example, to there, so it looked like it was a solid thing, we could just put something in the corner. That then actually gives us enough space for the eyeball. But I don't now think that this is going to fit with this. So this is going to be a little bit tricky, because this would spin round to there, and it doesn't give us a full thing. So that isn't going to work. But then we're going to have that problem anyway if I add that corner unit in. So this is going to create a bit of a headache quite quickly. Let me spin this light over quick, because I want that one over and then that one over. So it's a little bit brighter over here. I might leave it on a cliffhanger on this one as well, and then just come back to it once I've read your comments, to be fair. Like, if I put a unit in the corner, that would be there. That is close to 2 base plates in width. But with the bank going in that corner, or full modular going in that corner, it will give us the space that we need for the eyeball. Potentially then I could put the pet shop on the inside of the pool table, put the bookshop on the inside there. But then we are struggling for the garage. But the garage could potentially go where the bank is if the pet shop would go in that gap. And then that gives us all the space that we need. You see how tricky this is going to get? I just don't know whether to lose something in that corner and keep the bank on this corner, because it's a nice looking set. So if I put two halves in there, that would fill that up. I can't create enough space to put that in with that. So does the pet shop fit in that gap? That's the first thing. If it does, then we know we have an option. Because if it doesn't, then we are stuffed. Because this shadow box is so big. So big. Right, will that slot and slide in to there? We're going to be off by a stud? Of course we are. You couldn't be any closer if you tried, could you? Have I got any wiggle room on the edge of this table? Oh, I have. So yes, it will fit. It's toys. But there we go. So that will go in like so. So we could have something there. Excuse me. So that then does that. That gives us a huge amount of space. That's 2 base plates of space for the base of the eyeball, which then leaves us a corner unit. So do we think the bank looks better besides? I think it just looks better there. So the only other option is I lose the pet shop. Can I fit that? Can I just be stupid and that? If I did that, oh, that's tight. It will go. If I push that for a long strip, could I then just have that off the eyeball with a bit of a gap? That might be the easier way of doing it. Why is that putting up a fight? Because it's pinned against the table. Of course it is. There we go. That goes there, that goes there, that goes there, that goes there. That goes there. Well, that goes in the... don't forget, we've got the bookshop that can swap with that. Still leaves this headache. Now, obviously, could just go there and it's done, which I don't think anybody's gonna like. So we have got options with that. Very awkward because it's not really a corner unit, is it? Just a pain is what it is. The only thing I can think of is it went basically like that, and then we make that there'd just be a road going down there, road going beside it, and then that would be the space then for the eyeball. I think that's the best way of doing it for now. I will be having a play and a think with that, because I don't know if it does look better in front or behind, because obviously that's not big enough. So we would need the secondary one. I just don't know if it looks nice with a building close to the Joker Manor or it's standalone. Don't know if one goes here or we put two. We put two here, leave a gap, because obviously this is going to be its own separate display. Yeah, it's getting a little bit awkward, this one, just because it's an awkward shape. So if I bring this back to where you are, and then I will have a think about it and then sort this out on the next upload, because I know what's going to happen. I'm going to keep moving it and it's just going to fall apart, which is obviously what we don't want to happen. But yeah, we got options. Like I said, you can have the side of the building. That doesn't look too bad, just a slightly different shape. Gives us that sort of curve in. And then I just customise that and it opens up into a big thing, and then could potentially put another smaller one down there. So yeah, let us know what you guys and girls think, because I am lost and confused, and I'm already thinking about that stuff over there. So that will do for now. That is how we've left it. It's better, I think, with it all wrapping around, obviously with the eyeball being in that bit, and then I can kiss up those different bits and pieces needed. The plan will be to have all of those road plates wrapped around basically as much as I possibly can. Artwork will stay there, and then the shadow box will stay as it is, and then I will now start to focus on this, which will be in the upload that follows this one, and hopefully by that point we'll know where that garage is going to go. More than likely it's all going to be swapped about anyway, because I'll be looking at it going, maybe the garage should go where the bank is, and blah 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 blah. So that's it. I think I've run out of time, so that means that is it, and I am done. So if you can like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Let us know in the comments below what you think, what should go where. It's always very, very helpful, and obviously it's just a little bit of fun in between all of the Legoland uploads. But guys, as always, thank you very much for watching. You lot take care, and I'll see you next one. Ta-da.